right, everybody. Welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you for joining me on the program tonight. You know what? The weather outside is frightful, but this program is going to be delightful because I have Olivia Anderson on the program tonight. I would no kid. I'm just not. I'm kidding. I was looking outside earlier, and those snowflakes that were coming down. I mean, it looked like huge pieces of cotton floating down from the sky. I'm thankful that it's not going to be sticking because I don't know about you. I do not like shoveling snow. I would much rather it just fall, melt, and be gone. You might like snow. You can keep it where you are. That's fine. But tonight we're gonna talk about some happy things. We're gonna talk about Olivia Anderson, and she attends school at Lighthouse Preparatory Academy. Very talented young lady. She's got a great family. We'll get into all those different things, and then this is going to be like breaking news. We had a particular thing that happened this weekend that she's going to share with us about, and we're just going to pray that things work out very well for her very quickly. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Olivia on right now. Hey,
Hi,
Olivia,
how's
how
it
you doing?
going? I'm doing
Good.
well.
It's awesome. I guess I have to ask, do you like snow?
I like looking at it through a window. I don't
Okay,
like being outside in it,
right.
but I do like looking at it.
Yes. Well, as for me, it hits my head. It would be just a little cold and run
Right.
down. I have to wear a hat. I mean, I have to.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not even gonna waste any time. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into what happened this weekend. Um,
Okay.
that's not on my it's not in my questions, but you shared with me before the program. It's almost
Yes.
like breaking news. We gotta share this.
Yeah.
So tell everybody what happened this weekend.
Okay, so I was at my club volleyball tournament this weekend in Lawrence, Kansas, and we were getting ready for our first game. It was warm ups, and we were doing hitting lines. And I'm not even a hitter, but that's just how we warm up. And I went to hit, and I landed terribly, and my knee fell to the side, and it came back, and I just instantly fell to the ground. So we're thinking right now that I have a torn ACL, which is really disappointing because that's a very long recovery. But it's not too swollen, so we're just hoping that it's not that serious.
Mhm.
But we don't know yet. I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so we will see how it goes when we get the results back.
Yeah. And with that smile and with that attitude, you're going to be just fine. You're going to get
Yes.
through this quickly, and we'll just believe, like we prayed before we started, that you receive healing very quickly. So,
Yes.
we also talked about, that's one of the areas that you do not want to follow in your sister's footsteps. So, you know,
Yes.
apparently she had done that as well,
She
and
did also her senior season, so I
uh-huh,
guess it just runs in the family.
yeah, it's got to stop that. No more of
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Well, hey, I want to just have everybody that's watching tonight make sure that you make any comments, any questions that you have for Olivia. Feel free to do that. I'll try to work them in there as well. But we're just going to ask you some different things about your article in Sports Soccer Magazine,
Yeah.
which we've got that picture right there. That's an awesome picture.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a
Thank you.
lot of fun going and doing your photo shoot and getting the interview accomplished. And
Yep.
very thankful that you were part of this last magazine. So,
Yep. It was so fun.
yeah,
So,
good. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your article and specifically one of the title that they came up with was that the last great year of high school. What does that statement mean to you?
yeah. So obviously I'm a senior. And I think this year, I just wanted to make this year really special. I'm a little sentimental about lasts. So I just really wanted to be intentional with how I spent this year, on and off the court. I just wanted to be really intentional with relationships and volleyball and just everything. I just wanted to make it a really special year. So
Yeah, because it's gone by quickly, hasn't it? I mean, you're a
it
senior
has.
and you're
Yep.
you're thinking about other things, getting ready for the next step, and then you go and you have a tournament in Lawrence, Kansas. And but we're gonna get
I
off of that.
know.
No more of that
Yes.
tonight.
No more. We're
Yes.
done.
Um, in your article, you talked about some things that take place behind the scenes as being memorable moments. Tell us why you loved practice and your team.
Oh man, my team was just so fun this year. I was looking forward to this team since my junior year. I just knew it was going to be such a good season. My teammates and I, we just had such good chemistry. We all just loved each other so well. We just had so much fun together at practice. We would turn the music up and dance, and we would just do all sorts of fun things at practice. And after practice, we had a bit of a Sonic run tradition. We just had so much fun when we were at hotels together. There were just even off the court, the team was just amazing. I just love them so much. So
Yeah, and that really makes a difference when you've got everybody's kind of bought in and on the same page, and you're just having fun together, and just
yeah,
kind of like what we are tonight. We've got John Binky. He showed up on here and he said prayers for a favorable outcome and a speedy and full healing. So we are in agreement with that, John. And thanks for being on here, John Binky. He's a good man.
he
Do you,
is.
yeah, you know him, so yeah, that's he's a great guy.
Yes.
Um, you know, one of the things for your high school team, um, how does that compared as far as with your club volleyball team? The relationships. What do you see as the biggest differences there?
Um, I mean, obviously, when you're on a school team, you know each other through classes, or you just kind of grow up more together. I would say club is just very different because you're coming from a whole bunch of different high schools, and you're trying to. You really only get to know each other through volleyball.
Hmm.
So with school, it's you know each other more outside of volleyball. As with club, you only know each other through volleyball. So
Hmm.
that definitely makes a big difference. I think sometimes it's a little harder to form relationships on a club team, but that doesn't mean that you can't.
Right.
I think that school for me is just more laid back. I feel like I'm a little more of myself
Hmm.
at my on my school team, just because these girls have known me longer and they know me who I am outside of the court. So, yeah.
That's great. Very good. Well, what has made volleyball so much fun, and why did it become your passion? Why is it that sport?
Yeah. So I started volleyball, I think in second grade, like on a Parks and Rec team. Originally, my sport was gymnastics. I loved it, but
Uh-huh.
that just wasn't very long term for me. Volleyball was something I could just pick up so easily. And I I always loved the sport. It was fun to me, but I don't think it ever really became a passion for me until I really found my position. I tried being a setter, I tried being a hitter, but I don't think I really like had a passion for it until I found out, or until I found out I was a libero and a passer. Like that's just what I love to do. It became fun when you start learning skills and strategies. It becomes more of a game, a strategic game, and less of just something to do for fun. So I think it really became a passion probably when I started high school.
Yeah. So why don't you explain for everybody what a libero is and what is the difference when you know that's who that is out on the court?
Yeah. So the easiest way to spot a libero is they're usually the person wearing the wrong jersey. I get asked that all the time why I'm not wearing the right jersey, and that's actually so that people can tell who the libero is.
Hmm.
So that is easy for the people that are tracking who's coming in and out of the court. So as a libero, you can only play back row. You are not allowed to rotate into the front row and hit in front of the 10-foot line. So your job is mainly defense and covering all of those hard hits and all of the serve receives. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So that you have an important part on the court, and it's not just that you have the wrong uniform on. There is a reason that you have that uniform on.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
Yes.
good. Um, who inspired you to play volleyball, and what kind of things did you learn from them?
Yeah, so we mentioned my sister earlier. Her name is Josie. She is the reason that I started volleyball. She started also in elementary school, and just like every younger sibling wants to do, they want to follow in their older siblings' footsteps. So I wanted to be just like her, and I started on a rec volleyball team, and that just kind of stuck for me. I I watched her play all the way from elementary school until her college seasons. And so not only did I get to play, but I got to watch her. And I think that just like watching her passion for volleyball just continued to flow into my passion for volleyball. And I think it's really special getting to play the same sport as one of your
Yeah,
siblings.
that's great. Now, did you get to play high school with her at all?
No, we never got to play together,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess
She
she would have been graduated when you went in, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we were freshmen at the same time. So
Yeah.
she went into her college season when I hit freshman season. So
Okay.
unfortunately, no.
So, like when you guys just get together, hang out, you ever just try to find a volleyball net and hit it back at each
Oh
other?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we aren't in a gym and we're not just like practicing skills, we will you will find us like just hitting a ball around the house, like passing or setting, trying not to break things, which we've done
Yeah,
before.
that's good.
We've broken a lamp one time playing volleyball in the house. So, but yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, did you get in trouble breaking that lamp?
You see, my mom wasn't home at the time, and so we
Okay.
tried to hide it since she wasn't home. But obviously, we told her when she saw that it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I will quickly share a story that when my brother and I were playing football in the house when we were young, grade school, and playing football in the house, and my aunt had made my mom this ceramic pitcher, you know, handmade, made it with love, all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
and we just absolutely we broke it. And you know what my mom did? She took our little light ray guns or whatever they were, and she broke them. So, you know,
I,
we learned a lesson. Do not play
yes.
football in the house, or your
Yes.
mom's gonna break my toys.
Did you do it ever again?
Nope, we did not.
So
Not
you
at
did
that
learn a
house.
lesson.
We did when we were older. Okay, we did when we were
Yeah.
older, but and I
Yes.
would say we kind of knew what we were doing, but not really.
Yeah.
Just
That's
we just didn't
okay.
have toys like that for her to break anymore, I think. So,
yeah. Yes. Exactly.
okay, so let's see. We have your sister making a comment here. Don't tell them our secrets. Josie, you're awesome. That's great. I wanted to tell you, you said you started, what was it, about second grade doing volleyball?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Well, my youngest grandson, he is 2.5. And I want to tell you that my granddaughter, she's 14, she plays volleyball. And so she just kind of plays around with him a little bit. But when we were up there during a little bit before Christmas in Colorado, and I mean, you throw a ball to him, and that little boy could bump. I mean, he
Really?
bump it up. I mean, he wouldn't stop. He just kept wanting you
Yeah.
to throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he can be a libero. I don't know.
Maybe. I've tried to teach my nephew how to play volleyball, and he hasn't picked it up very well yet.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you just keep hitting it towards their face, and as they
yeah,
have to defend somehow, right?
yeah. Eventually, they'll learn.
Yeah.
So,
Through trial and error. All right.
yeah.
Well, why don't you go ahead and since you mentioned Josie and she's on here, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about her and what are some of the things that she's really impacted you with, as well as your brother?
Yeah, I think my family as a whole, we're very much a volleyball family. And like I said, we've just grown up watching it. We've watched dozens of volleyball seasons. But I think my sister, especially, has just shown me what it's like to get knocked down and to try again. I mean, she got hurt her senior season, and um, I don't think she thought she was going to be able to play again, but she got on a club team after she hurt herself and eventually was able to play for her school later in college. And I think it's just really cool to see just the passion in her eyes. She loves her sport, and she just puts so much effort into it. If she makes a mistake or if she gets knocked down, her drive to keep playing is just her love for the sport. And I think it's just shown me that, even if something pushes up against you, it's okay because you love the sport and that's what matters.
Yeah. And what about your other sibling?
So Sam,
Hmm.
Sam is not a volleyball player, but he has still impacted me in a lot of ways. Same thing. He has had so many trials in his lifetime, and I'm so proud of him and just the way he's grown. I think it's really shown me just um, the effort. Like both of them just put in an incredible amount of effort into growth. And I think that just really shows me how much I just want to put in as much effort as they do. And
Uh-huh.
um, yeah,
How old is Sam?
Sam is turning 25 this year.
Okay.
So, yes,
So he's the oldest, huh?
he is. And I'm the baby.
All right. Well, we've got your sister's bringing back on another comment here. So she says, "You may look up to me, but I look up to you. You have an immense amount of strength and a big, big heart that I admire." Yeah,
Sweet.
that's got to make you feel good, doesn't it?
It does. Yes.
Yeah, very good. Now, why don't you tell us about your mom and dad? What are, just how important and how special have they been for you?
Oh man, my parents are my role models. They are so important to me. They have raised me well, I hope I can say. They are so inspirational. They have just taught me so many great life lessons. They've shown me the importance of taking risks and being able to put in effort. You get out what you put in, and just the importance of loving people well and being a good teammate and being a good friend. Like I feel like I would not be the person that I am, obviously, without my parents. And I think it's just, I think they're just beautiful people. And I'm so grateful that they're my parents because they've just taught me so many great things. So.
Yeah, that's good. Um, how are you going to take the things that you've learned from them, some of those character traits? How are you going to take those things in your future and moving on?
Yeah. Um, man, I don't think that I don't even know what to say because it's like I don't think that my future and my goals would be as significant to me if it weren't for my parents. Like my parents have just always taught me to set goals and just strive for the things that I want. And so I just can't imagine not like my parents are just always pushing me and for to become a better version of myself. And so I think that is um, I think I can just take that for myself, when I'm maybe not in my parents' household anymore, that I can just take that for myself and maybe learn to push myself the same way that my parents do.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. They are awesome. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what they do?
Yeah. So my parents own Three Story Coffee in Jefferson City. That was not their original plan. My dad used to work in agriculture, and my mom was a physical therapist, and they just completely did a 180. Neither of my parents really liked coffee years ago, and they just fell in love with the coffee industry. There's a lot bigger of a picture than people realize. They fell in love with coffee farmers and just wanting to share that story with the community. So,
Yeah, and if somebody has not heard about that, they need to pop in there sometime and visit with them, and they'll find out a little bit more about their story, and they'll be able to explain that. And it's a neat thing. Um,
yes.
tell everybody where the locations are.
So we have one location in Jefferson City. It's near downtown. It's on Bolivar Street.
Mhm.
We used to have two locations, but we ended up just building a new building about a year and a half ago. So we have a brand new location. It's beautiful. It has a great view of the Capitol. So,
Yeah, it is a great spot. Very, very nice location. Okay, we'll get into in the speed round. We'll ask. You can already be thinking about it. What your favorite coffee is. We'll get to that later.
okay,
But
sounds
all
good.
right. Why don't you tell us now a little bit about your teammates and what did you appreciate about your time with them this past year,
Yeah.
your senior year?
Yeah. So I really wanted to be intentional with my teammates this year. I was just really focused on having relationships with the girls, especially the younger girls. I loved the other senior girls. We were all just best friends. We love each other so much. Those were my Sonic buddies. Um, but really, I just wanted to pour into the younger girls. I hope that I impacted them in some way, whether that was on the court or off the court. We texted each other after games and was like, "You did a great job. I'm so proud of the way that you did this and this." And after games, we would say, "Hey, I'm really proud of this that you did." It was just I just appreciate the way that we all, we were friends more than we were teammates. And so it was just really cool to pour into each other in that way this year.
How many seniors did you have on the team?
So it was me and three other girls.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Kind of came up through with them, and you guys probably shared lots of great times along the way, and now have passed that along. You're passed that along to the underclassmen. What did you learn about being a good teammate?
yeah, I think I just, man, that it is so important to be a good teammate. If you can't be a good teammate, that really brings the whole team down. If one person gets down, it really takes everybody down. But if you're willing to be the one person that encourages everybody, and you stay calm and you lift each other up like that, that really makes a game. Like
Hmm.
you could win a whole game off of just a good mindset and just being a good teammate. Like you can do all the physical work, but if you can't, be a good teammate and you can't lift each other up, that really costs a match.
Right. Well, you keep saying such great things. You give me lots of other things to ask, but I'm not going to do all that. I'll try to get to some of them later. But we've kind of moved really quickly through this first segment, so we'll give you a little bit of a quick little break here. We'll do our sponsor segment, and we will be right back for the second half as well as the speed round. Now, when I say that, I'm just saying don't hang up on me, okay?
I won't
Stay
hang up
stay
on
with me,
you.
okay? All right, that sounds good. We'll do our sponsor break, and we'll be right back.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, they great people. My friend Paula Benny and her team, they just do such an outstanding job. I can tell you about all the great things that they do with their business, but it's not just about that. It's also about community, and they are actively involved in this community and the area around. Um, just so thankful to have them as a vital and a very important part of this community. If you know somebody that needs a job, or if you know or an employer and you need to find good quality people to employ, make sure that you reach out to Paula Benny and her team at CNS Employment Solutions, and they'll get you taken care of. Another one of our sponsors, and one of the reasons why I really like sharing about them, is Big Whiskeys. And what they do is they sponsor our coach of the issue. And this past issue, we had Coach Kerry Morris from Calvary Lutheran. And as we'll get into it a little bit more as we're talking to Olivia, and the importance of coaching and how they impact a student athlete's life, That's one of the real main reasons why we have a sponsor for Coach of the Issue, because it is so important to have people like Coach Kerry Morris and others that are just pouring into our student athletes right here in mid-Missouri, not only coaching and teaching, but being mentors. And so we appreciate Big Whiskeys for bringing that special feature in Sports Locker Magazine. All right, we have been talking to Olivia Anderson, and she has been doing an outstanding job. And we get to hear a little bit more from her. And Olivia, thanks for joining us tonight.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah,
I enjoy
we
it.
we are very thankful to have you on here, and you've done an outstanding job. We were just talking a little bit about coaches and their importance. How have your coaches impacted you?
Oh man, I love my coaches. I've had them for the past 3 years, and I've just built such a good relationship with them. They are like friends to me. They're like a second set of parents to me. They just do such a good job of encouraging, but also like they'll tell you when you need to do better. So they're just so encouraging. They have taught me the importance of not only the physical aspect, but also the emotional and the mental, and just how important that is. So,
Yeah. So tell everybody who your coaches are and how what they've taught you is going to impact you as you move on.
yeah. So, my coaches are Lisa and Calvin Stock. They used to be parents of an old player, but they have so much knowledge, and I've learned so much from them. The things that I've learned from them, wow. Like I said, they have shown me the importance of, emotions on the court. I think it's so easy to get in your head and make a mistake, but they've shown me that, it's inevitable that you're going to mess up. Everybody's going to mess up at some point, but you can't let that get to you. That's going to happen in almost every game. And so, not only when you make a mistake, but when someone else makes a mistake, you have to be able to talk yourself out of that or encourage your teammates.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for teammates. And I think that also goes for just off the court too. That happens in life. You're inevitably going to mess up and make mistakes, but you have to be able to, encourage yourself and encourage others. So,
Sometimes coaches have, I guess you would say, something that they like to drive home all the time. I mean, they want you to get that point, and they'll say it over and over again. Is there a specific thing that your coaches said that just really sticks out in your mind?
uh, I don't know. 3 years is a long time. They don't have any catchphrases, but
Yes.
um, we used to do this thing during practice called belly breathing. It was like a breathing technique that we would use if we were anxious or nervous on the
Hmm.
court. And I just like, it's not necessarily like a catchphrase, but it's almost just like, I don't know, we'll have these little like just inside jokes
Yeah.
maybe, or things that just kind of stick on the team. That happens every year, obviously, but never any like things that they're like, this is what I want you to know.
Right. Right.
So
Well, belly breathing, they wanted you to know that, so that was good.
yeah,
Probably try to keep you calm and
right,
um, not getting panicked or worried or anything along that line.
yeah,
So,
right.
what are some of I guess the next question I have, what are some of the favorite moments that you've had playing volleyball at LPA?
Oh. Like I said earlier, honestly, one of my favorite memories is just dancing on the court when we were playing music at practice. I love to dance. I
Uh-huh.
was kind of, maybe people saw me as the crazy player, but I think I was just fun.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite memories during practice. But during games, I kind of mentioned this earlier, if you won a match, everybody is so excited in the huddle and they're just like, I'm so proud of you. We did so good. Like, we just
Hmm.
did that. That feeling is kind of unmatched,
Hmm.
just that like feeling of hype and encouragement from your teammates is just, it's really special. And I think that's something that I will carry with me for a long time.
Well, good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, and we're going to get into in the speed round. You're giving me other questions I'm going to be able to ask. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to
Right.
hold them. I'm going to hold them. Now
Okay.
tell us about your education at LPA and what have you appreciated about going to school there?
Yeah. So Lighthouse is a university model. So I only go in school 3 days a week, and then I have homework on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that is a really cool setup, to prepare you for college. It teaches you how to manage your time. I am able to, work a job with flexible hours. And I can, do fun things with my friends, when most people my age are in school. But I'm also learning some really important life lessons before I go into school. But I also, um, I love the morals at my school. We're always working to be better, working to be Christ-like, and so I love the model of my school.
Mhm.
It's just really cool. So
Yeah, great atmosphere, great um, educational program, and it's just you've got a lot of great people there. I
yes,
can mention names, but I don't want to leave anybody out either. So
yeah.
I won't do that. So tell us about your education with Lighthouse, and I mean it's it's kind of a combination of homeschool um, and then attending the prep academy. Just talk about the advantages of that for you and how you've really seen yourself grow in that.
Yeah. So, like I said, I only go to school 3 days a week. So, not only do I get to learn, I get all these opportunities within school, I get to learn the social aspect and, what it's like in a classroom. But at home, I really get to work in my own pace, which is really cool. Not a lot of people get to do that. You're kind of working at the schedule, but it's like, for me, it's I get to take my time with my homework. Maybe I take longer with my math, and so I can take longer with my math. Or so I think that's something that when I'm on my own at college, that I've already learned these skills in high school that I can just take with me um, at college. So.
Yeah, that's great. And you've had some great instructors over there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your teachers, instructors, and faculty?
Yeah. Yeah, so the staff at Lighthouse is amazing. They are very relational, and I think that's the greatest thing. I walked into school with crutches this morning, and all of my teachers were like, Olivia, what happened? Was it volleyball? And, like I got to be able to have a conversation with my teachers because, they not only care about my school and my grades, they care about who I am as a person.
Hmm.
My teachers care so much about our personal lives and just wanting to help us to become better people, not just better students. So I love my teachers. They're amazing people.
Yeah, that's great. What are your plans beyond high school, and what do you want to do in that next year?
Yeah, so I've been looking into health careers. I've looked at nursing for a very long time, probably since fifth grade. I've weighed that in my mind a little bit. I've thought about some other things, maybe athletic training or physical therapy. I really just I love the idea of the human body and just how it works, and just it's so cool to me. So I love working with people and just relationships, and so I think that would just be a really good fit for me personally. So,
You will do well at any of that. I know you will.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I know that too because it's not just the occupation that you pick, but it's also the personality and the care that you put into it. So you will
right.
do very well in whatever you decide to do.
Thank you.
And so we have to ask though, what is your job that you do right now as far as
So, yes. So, like I mentioned earlier, my parents own a coffee shop.
yeah,
And so I've basically grown up working in the coffee shop.
okay,
Right now, I make scones. That is
ah,
my main job. So that is actually what my sister used to do. Again, just
okay,
following in her footsteps.
yeah,
So when I go to college, this will actually be the first time that a non-Anderson is making scones. So when I'm not making scones, I occasionally pick up a bar shift and I'm a barista for a little bit. So I do know
hmm,
how to make coffee.
awesome.
Um, but I practically live at the coffee shop. If you don't see me behind the bar, I'm probably doing homework at a table. So
Well, my daughter who did the photos for the magazine, she would have loved to have had you make her some coffee and probably a
Yeah,
scone because she
yeah,
she loves coffee. So that's one of the things
yes.
that she really appreciates. Like, this is the final question before we get into the speed round, but what would you share as advice to the underclassmen, not only the student athletes, but just your classmates at LPA?
Yeah. Um, I think growing up, I was always looking towards the next step. I've always been really excited about just going to college and doing what I really want to do. And I don't think I really stopped to realize that I wasn't going to be in high school forever. Sometimes you're so focused on where you are that you don't really realize, this could be the last time I do this, or so I think my advice is to just take things slow, really just be appreciative of where you are and be intentional with where you are, because you may not see those people ever again, or you may not do that activity ever again. I think it's just so important to just realize the time that you have. There's always the future, you will get there eventually, but you can't really go back to the past, so I think it's just really important to take your time and just be really intentional with where you are.
Yes, yes, that's great advice, and um, you know, I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna be dating myself right here now as far as age, but this year my class will have had the 40th class reunion, 40 years. That didn't even sound right, but
Yeah.
I just saw the other day that they had a post on the page that somebody had passed away. One of their girls from high school had passed away, and it just makes you think about what kind of impact could I have made on that person for me had I known Christ at that time. Um, those are just things that I think about. So it's very good that you're being intentional and wanting to make an impact with your classmates now, because you're exactly right. You don't know if you will ever see them again. Um, not only around your community, but it's possible you might not ever see them again. And so it's very important to be intentional and to share those values and treat people the way that we would want to be treated. And
Right.
um, I will say, well done. You're doing a great job at that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, setting all of that up, now we're going to jump into the speed round, and we're
Okay.
just going to ask some fun questions. And one of the
Okay.
ones that we always like to ask is, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a volleyball match?
Well, I think I said this earlier. I love Sonic. So
I
I
heard
probably
Sonic. I did.
went, yes, I think I probably went 4 or 5 times during a week during volleyball season, which is
Okay.
probably not very healthy for an athlete. Um, but I loved getting chili cheese fries and a
Okay.
vanilla Dr. Pepper. That was probably my go-to. It's a
Yeah.
great pick me up.
Well, yeah, and Sonic was probably really happy to have you come visiting as much as you did too.
Yeah, I think the workers knew me at that point. We
Yeah.
were on a name basis, so
When you're going off to school, they're going to think, "Why have we had a dip in sales? What's going on?"
I,
It's because
it's just
Olivia has
me.
left.
It's just me. Yes.
That's great. What is your favorite coffee?
My favorite coffee. Um, Probably a caramel vanilla latte, which makes me sound so basic, but that is okay. I will take it. It is good.
Caramel vanilla latte. And do
Yes.
you make the best one, or does somebody else make the best one?
Oh, I don't make the best ones. I make a decent one. If you
Uh,
see me being your barista, don't be worried that I'm gonna make you a bad coffee. Like it'll be good. But
yeah.
some of my friends are really good at making lattes. They have fantastic latte art, and
All
I'm
right.
just not quite there yet. So I have
Yeah.
some learning. So
Explain latte art. I mean, latte art. I know what you're talking about, but explain that to people that might not know.
yeah. Latte art, it's the pretty picture you see on the top, and it takes really good milk, and that takes perfecting, and it takes, you know, you have to learn how to do certain art on the top. Everything is different with every stroke. You may make a different flower or a heart. So, honestly, I just need my friends to teach me. Some of my friends can make a swan. I can barely make a heart. But it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because the reality of it is, it's going to be gone in a second anyway.
Exactly. And when someone takes a picture of your latte art, that is the best compliment in the world.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, good. So you said you make scones. What are the different types of scones you make, and what is your favorite?
okay, so we usually go on a rotation. So we have some like cherry almond, lemon blueberry, cinnamon pecan. I think my favorite is either a cinnamon chip. So it's kind of like chocolate chip, but they're cinnamon flavored.
Hmm.
And then I also love our chai scone, but
Okay,
currently that is not available for right
okay.
now.
Is it
But
seasonal?
it's very good. Um, it apparently people don't have the same taste that I do because they don't
Ah,
sell as well.
okay.
But they are really good.
Yeah.
So
Put it on the menu at Sonic, and you will be there,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Good. All right, now we're going to get into some other stuff, and family can feel free to pop in on this, chime in. What is the chore that you least like to do around the house?
Folding laundry. I will like load laundry, I'll move it over, but folding is just not my thing. It takes
Uh-huh.
a long time. I'm not great at it. My mom is great at folding laundry and I just have not perfected that yet.
Hmm.
So I usually avoid that. And if I avoid it for long enough, then my mom will sometimes do it for me.
Okay,
So
okay.
yes.
There it is. It's out. Um,
Yes.
so you would be kind of like what I was when I was younger too. That the way that I did laundry was I had it in piles, and I knew what was in
Mhm.
that pile. I could get it, but I knew what was in that pile. But you know what? Now I fold my laundry. I don't fold it as good as my wife, but I try to fold it and put
Hopefully,
it where it
hopefully I
needs to
get
go.
better,
Yeah,
but
you'll
that
get
that
there.
takes some time.
Oh,
Yes.
your mom, I love it. She came on here, laundry, and then she added something else and dishes.
Dishes make my hands itch, but I like dishes better
Yeah.
than folding laundry.
Okay.
So
There you go, mom. She likes dishes better, so maybe a little
yes,
trade-off. That's good.
yep.
Um, if you could, let's see. I had another one I was going to ask you, but I'm going to ask you. If there's anywhere in the world that you could go, where would that be and why?
Oh man. Um, it's very popular right now. I've always wanted to go to Italy. I think it's beautiful. Just the coast, probably. But then it became super popular and everybody went. So I can't be unique anymore.
Right.
I really wanted to visit Israel. I've always wanted to visit Iceland with my dad. So I love traveling. It's something that I hope to do a lot of in the future.
Just that whole thing, the name ice in Iceland, that makes it sound like it's really cold. Um,
Right. They were
I
trying to trick the Vikings, I guess.
They were trying to trick the Vikings. That's exactly it. So, um, let's see. One more question that we'll ask about that. If you were to describe yourself as, let's just say, a superhero on the volleyball court, who would that be and why?
uh, I've never thought about that before. On the volleyball court.
Yes, on the volleyball
Uh,
court.
Maybe like I'm not even very good with like superheroes.
It's
Maybe
okay.
I'd maybe I'd be like somebody that can teleport, because
Okay.
I'm always coming on and off the court. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So, or maybe somebody that can fly,
Uh-huh.
or someone maybe like Spider Man, because
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
all over the court. I don't know,
Yeah, no, that's good.
something like
Those
that.
are all
Yeah,
good. You were able to incorporate that. The only one that would have made me a little nervous is if you would have said the Incredible Hulk. I would have been a little nervous. Be like, don't
yeah,
anybody get anywhere near her.
yeah.
All right. Well, Olivia, you have done an outstanding job. I really enjoyed this interview, and I just want to tell anybody you got to get over to Three Story Coffee and try out the scones there because we know who makes them now.
Yes,
And she's not
please.
going to be there for much longer. So we need to make sure
Yep.
that we get in there and get those tried out. And again, a great family. We are so thankful for you all. And I just, again, pray for a quick recovery on your knee and that it's not it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as what it seemed to be. So
Yes.
we'll just go for that. All right. Anything else you want to add before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have you hold on and I'll go ahead and close out the program and I'll visit with you just briefly afterwards. All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. Great job. All right. You have been watching One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and we had a great interview, and it was so much fun to visit with Olivia Anderson and, just be lifting her up in prayer that she just doesn't have to deal with an injured knee, that she can be quickly recovered and get back on track, being able to do some of the things that she loves doing and making an impact on her fellow student athletes. And again, just a great conversation with Olivia, and we always look forward to being able to visit with these student athletes and hearing their stories and seeing what drives them. So with that in mind, I'm going to let you guys go tonight. Appreciate you joining the program. So God bless you, and I will see you next week on One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. We'll see you then.